So this guy, the security guy, like security camera guy, I think he's the third agent. Let me show you why.
And yeah, I was heading up to take a look because there was actually a thermal line last year that blew out next door.
I want to see coverage of the outside entrance area.
That's gone, blown out. Have you got a second choice?
A concentrated care unit. Roll back 1 hour.
That we can do.
Okay, so there's 3 pieces of evidence here. One is that he has this legitimate story already ready to rock. Like last year there was a thermal something popped off, this kind of it happens. So he like already has a plausible scenario, but it would be from the ISB officer's perspective a red herring. Like you're telling me erroneous information that's not related to this, but it makes me wonder what's happening here. Like what are you doing here? The second thing is that the cameras over the loading dock, the parking place, wherever the ships got destroyed, the cameras on the left there, right? Those are destroyed. Sure, fine. Yeah, so it can't give you any live feeds, but the recordings are also dead?
Doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense, right? Unless the hard drives for the recordings are there at the cameras, which I guess is possible, but also kind of super weird. Live feed out, recorded at wherever his station is. And then, or maybe they just don't have recording capabilities at all. It's only live feed. But then the third evidence here is that when Hertz asked for the cameras from the intensive care unit or the intensive care unit, he's like, "Yep, got him. Pull him up." Which is suspect. So you have recordings from one thing but not the other. Now, why is that important? Because yes, Clea's face is detected because she wasn't able to avoid all the cameras, and in fact the ISB officer says it's like she knows where all the cameras are. Well, maybe she does know where all the cameras are because the security guy told her where all the cameras were. She's not able to deflect her face completely. She does this like look down, so you see her face at a weird angle. But maybe when she's by the shuttles, by the cars, it's just harder to do that. So it's harder to like cover the angles. So you just don't let that be recorded, and this guy covers for you.
Yeah.
Maybe he's an agent.
I can see it. The thing that convinced me was the vehicles being bombed.
Okay.
Because there's no way Clea, as a single operative in a Imperial hospital, would think that she could get away with bombing like 4, 5, 6 vehicles. I can't remember the number.
Right.
Without at least some assurance that there's inside help. And the person who
Someone
would probably
covering the
be
cameras.
best. What's that?
Someone covering the cameras, making sure she's not seen.
So especially this guy, because
This guy's the guy.
this guy has to be, because he can cover for her, because if he sees her planting the bombs, then he doesn't report it up the chain and gets rid of the evidence, which is these left cameras here. So this guy's super suspicious, which means when ISB suspects that 3 people or more are part of this incident, maybe that's true.
I think so.
And so
we as an audience are misdirected. We think that it's only Clea, but like, no. Here's the other 2 guys, the hospital owner and then the security camera guy. And plus Clea, that's the 3.
Yeah. Because it felt like as I was watching it, it was like Clea flying by the seat of her pants trying to get to Luthen just to kill him. But then when she set off the bombs, that was like, oh man, this is a bigger operation than just flying by the seat of her pants. She had to like get the explosives up together. She had to make sure that she wasn't caught while doing it. She had a diversion. That's a bigger operation. So I'm convinced, actually.
Even like 30 seconds per bomb per car, plus a little bit of travel time between cars. That's a lot of time to be exposed as a nurse wearing yellow hanging out in the loading bay, the car depot. Yeah, suspicious. But then this guy covers it up. No camera, no records.
Right. I see it.
I think so.